Hi Jana, welcome to the WinTech team. Once more, we're so happy to have you on board with us. I am Sashana Robinson and I'll be guiding you through some key information that will help you to effectively carry out your duties as an administrative assistant, right? So let's start with the basics. So first things first, we have efficiency in adhering to company's policy and procedure. So the importance of this at WinTech is that these policies and procedures are essential guidelines that ensures consistency, fairness, and professionalism within the organization, which is WinTech. So they define acceptable behavior, work standards, and responsibilities for employees. By these guidelines, staff members contribute to a well-organized and disciplined work environment. It reduces misunderstandings and maintain the company's reputation. So policies also help ensures compliance with legal and regulatory requirements. And then we have the standard operating procedure, which these are step-by-step guidelines or instructions that explain how specific tasks should be done within the organization, right? So they are designed to ensure that all employees perform duties in a uniform and effective manner. So understanding the SOPs help reduce errors, it improves productivity, and also ensure that tasks such as report writing, communication, and documentation are completely correct and consistently. So employee must be familiar with and follow SOPs to maintain quality standards, right? We also have time management and task prioritization. So this involves organizing and planning work activities to complete tasks within set deadlines. So task prioritization ensures that the most urgent and important duties are handled first. So in an administrative role as yours, this includes managing emails, preparing reports, responding to staff requests efficiently, effective time management, which reduce stress and prevents delays and also increase the overall work productivity. You also want to have accuracy and attention to details in administrative work, right? So attention and accuracy to detail are critical in an administrative task because even the small errors can lead to misunderstandings or operational delays, and we can't have that. So this includes ensuring that memos are correctly written, as well as reports are free from mistakes and data is properly recorded. Paying close attention to detail improves the quality of work and enhances professionalism, as well as it builds trust in the employee performance, right? So you'll also be using some office equipment as well, such as photocopier, computer, the telephone. You have the office consumables such as paper, stationery, and so forth, and as well as the printer, right? So with the computer, this is used on a daily basis to perform administrative work that you'll be doing, such as writing memos, writing reports, checking emails, and stuff like that. You also want to be proficient in using Microsoft Word as well as Excel. This will increase the company's efficiency, it will avoid delays, and as well as it will help with the accuracy and communication within the organization, right? You'll also be using the printer, which would provide hard copies of documents such as reports, memo, and official respondents. You'd want to know how to use this to print document correctly, as well as set appropriate settings such as the color or double-sided and so forth. You'll also want to know how to handle minor issues such as a paper jam or low ink, as well as The printer is also used to maintain workflow and prevent delays, right? You also will be using the photocopier, which this is used for duplicate documents for quickly distribution, right? You'd want to understand how to make single and multiple copies and adjust settings such as resizing or double-sided copying, and also ensure documents are clear and properly aligned, right? Telephone system is pretty straightforward. You'd want to use this for internal and external communication. You must also demonstrate professionalism when answering the calls, taking messages, transferring calls, right? As clear and courteous communication helps to maintain the company's image, and it also ensures accurate information. It also ensures that accurate information is shared. And then you have the office consumables such as the stationery, paper, ink, etc. Right? These are used regularly, and it also needs replenishing on a regular basis. So you'd want to make sure that you use these resources responsibly and avoid waste and minor stock levels, right? As paper management of consumables helps to control costs and ensures that office operations run smoothly without interruptions. Okay?
Good afternoon, Jana. My name is Nakisha Harty, and I am a part of the group that will be presenting to you today on the new From Chaos to Calm Essential Skills for New Admin Professionals. First and foremost, we would like to welcome you to the team as the new admin assistant, and to let you know that we're here to help each other, right? Now, one of the things that we're going to realize is that in carrying out your function and preparing your documents, we'll have to look at proofreading, editing, and checking for accuracy. Now, just to look at some pointers, we're looking at systematic review process, reading aloud technique, checklist usage, facts or figures, spelling or grammar, formatting, separate stages. What this basically means, for systematic review processes, you review the document after. When you've typed it up, put it down, let it rest for a while, and come back with fresh eyes so that you can pick up on any errors as much as possible. Then you read aloud. When you practice this read aloud technique, you will be able to pick up on where you've made any mistake and if your grammar is correct. Also, try and adapt a checklist. Use a checklist so you can check off your items as you go along, so you ensure that what document you are preparing and presenting has all that you need it to have. Ensure that your facts and figures, your facts or your figures. Ensure if you need to manually get documents to put your report together, then do so, because you want to ensure that your document is accurate. It has the correct information to present to the necessary person. Then you have spell check. Of course, we all know spell check comes with our Microsoft Word software, where you can have your ways to check to ensure that the spelling is correct. Format your documents properly. Ensure it is clear and it's visible. Do not use bright colors or colors that are too light that persons are not able to see, because you do have persons who are colorblind and they might have issues in seeing things. Then, of course, you look at the separate stages of how you want to present that document to ensure that it covers all that it needs to. Another aspect is looking at another aspect of preparing your report is preparing clear, concise, and correct written information. And just to give a quick tip is to use the 5 C's of business writing. They are clear, concise, correct, consistent, and complete. Always look out for these 5 C's so that whenever you're creating your report, ensure it is clear, ensure it's simple, that anybody can take up that report and be able to understand exactly. It should flow and come to a complete end that you can understand step by step the different stages of that document. Structure it. Use the bullet points so that way it stands out. The important points that you need to be, that you're stressing on, that you're highlighting, use bullet points so you can pop it. And also call to action. Try to do an email before time or a memo where you can say to a person that, hey, we're going to have a meeting discussing this, or I would like to present this information to you, and then you give them that heads up so they know what they're expecting. And now lastly we're looking at making effective presentation using the different medias. And two medias that I'm looking at is PowerPoint. Now there's the 555 rule, and that is 5 words per, let me just be very clear. It says use no more than 5 words per line, 5 lines of text per slide, and 5 text heavy slides. And that way now it will pop. Use visuals instead of just text. You can use some graphs and make it pop even more so that it shows. So instead of writing 70% and 80%, use a nice pie chart, and trust me, that gets you're engaging your audience. And practice it. Practice it at home. Just as we were saying, reading aloud, practice that presentation so you can get to understand that you are presenting what you're supposed to be presenting. Then the next media that we can use is interactive screen or a whiteboard. So you can use the whiteboard to focus on your takeaways, the main points. Use interactive data and use it to engage your staff, engage your audience, to get them involved. Now I'm going to show you a quick little video to wrap this up, just to give you an idea as to what we simply mean by capturing your audience, right? So you can listen.
Please stop reading your slides. If your slide is covered in text and you just stand there reading it word for word, that's not actually a presentation. That's just you reading. And I already know you can read because you got the color. When you give presentations, your goal is to educate your audience. The big way that you're going to do that is by demonstrating you're the expert on what you're presenting. When you stand in front of a room and you just read your slides, you don't look like an expert. Your audience kind of thinks, well, you just read this stuff for myself. And so what they do is they tune you out. That's why things start to feel boring. Okay, so how are we going to fix this? You're actually going to want to do the exact opposite. You're going to want to put as few words as possible. Use bullet points. Or you know what my secret is? I actually separate each bullet point into its own slide, because you can actually have unlimited slides. Just put one small point per slide and then click through your slides faster. You don't even need words. Show a diagram, a chart, a graph, a picture, something visual, and then most importantly, just something that supports what you're saying as opposed to something that replaces it. I totally realize that not putting everything you're going to say on the slide is going to make presenting harder. You're actually going to have to know what you're presenting about. That's kind of the point, right? That's how you come across as confident. That's how you build trust with your audience and get them to care about what you're saying. But remember, when you're presenting, your job isn't to read slides, it's to make the slides worth looking at. So it's sanity of everyone who has ever had to sit through classroom presentations.
Alright, so that concludes our presentation on my part, and just want to hope that if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Basically what we're saying is that check your documents, you look up the different ways you can present your information, ensure that your report, whatever document that you're sending, ensure that it has the correct information, and you shall be fine. You can always reach out to me, call me, shoot me an email, and I'll be there to help you. All right, thank you.
Good morning, Yana. I hope your training so far has been going well. Today is day 2 of your training, and I will be facilitating training in interpersonal and communication skill, as well as sound reporting skills. Interpersonal skills. These skills are usually called people skills. You know, some persons naturally friendly and can start up a conversation and a good rapport with persons they didn't know before. This is the type of skill set that we need you to cultivate at work among your team members. And when we look at your communication skills now, we are talking about active listening, verbal and nonverbal communication, written communication. We are talking about team and leadership skills, being able to empathize with others, and also using visual skills. So right here, you know that technology comes in. So we have a number of things that you can do to improve your communication skills, and these are active listening, verbal and written communication, non-verbal communication. You have to express empathy, And also when it comes on to, I'm just giving you the topics here. Now, when we are talking about sound reporting skills, there are some steps that you need to go through to improve that. So you're going to need to gather your information, analyze the data, and you need critical thinking when you're analyzing your data. You need to have good writing communication skills. You have to plan and organize the data, and you have to have some technical skills to operate whichever software you're going to be using to do your presentation. Now, active listening, that is being focused on the person that is giving you the information or who is relaying something to you. You have to pay attention, you have to ask questions, you have to repeat that they're saying, so that you can understand fully and get a broader picture of what it is that they are saying to you. When it comes on to nonverbal communication, we are now talking about your use of words, the words you use, your tone, not necessarily the volume, but the tone. Your words have to be clear, precise, confident, because you want to, whatever you're going to tell them, if you're going to give them a no, you're going to tell them firmly but politely. So your words, the verbal communication is very important. The non-verbal communication, now, this is where you talk about your nodding of your head, saying no, gestures like that. So these are your non-verbal skills, your body language, your facial expressions. You know, you might lift your shoulder, raise your eyebrow, no, say no, or you might nod to say yes. All these, and you must ensure that these other body language, this type of communication does not conflict with the words that you're saying. It have to align, the body language have to align with what is coming out of your mouth. Also, when we talk about empathy, you must be able to put yourself in the person's shoe and say, you know, I understand why you are feeling this way. I understand your emotions. I would feel the same way if something like that would happen to me, as the person expressed their experience to you. And when it comes, and then now when you're talking about teamwork, you have to be able to work well with others, and you have to be able to lead your team to do the same, work well with others. You have to motivate them, inspire them. You have to guide them, and the best way to do this is to lead by example. Now, I'm going to allow you the opportunity to share with me what you think about all of these topics: active listening, nonverbal, verbal communication, written communication, which is very necessary because you know you have to be writing, you have to use the proper spelling, grammar, punctuation, all of that. Now I want you to tell me in your own words what you think about what I have just said to you.
So today I will be focusing on developing your interpersonal and communication skills, improving your report writing, also strengthening your analytical and professional communication abilities. So interpersonal and communication skills are extremely important in any workplace because they determine how effectively you interact with each other. These skills include active listening, clear and professional speaking, appropriate body language, and maintain a respectful tone and positive attitude. By improving these skills, you will be able to work more effectively within a team, reducing misunderstanding and conflicts. You will communicate with confidence and build a strong workplace relationship. For example, when sending an email and memos and messages, you must be clear, polite, and direct to avoid confusion. Your report writing ensures that important information are properly documented and communicated. A good report should be clear and concise, well structured, with an introduction, body, and conclusion. It should be accurate and relevant to the purpose. You will learn how to organize information logically, use proper grammar, and formatting your work before submission. This will improve your report quality and support better decision making within the organization. Good conceptual, analytical, and your planning skills. Conceptual skills help you to understand task and see the bigger picture. Analytical skills allow you to evaluate the information and make better decisions. Your planning skills help to organize the task and meet the deadlines. And developing these skills will improve your efficiency and productivity. Good communication with senior management and stakeholders. Now, it is important for you to communicate professionally with your senior management and stakeholders by using formal languages, being clear and confident, presenting accurate information, and reporting appropriately. This builds trust, professionalism, and support effective decision making. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to day 2 of your training. My name is Tashika Heron and I'll be your trainer for today. Alright, let's jump into it now. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is you're going to learn how to access, using, and communicating workplace information. Anyone has any idea what that means? Alright, since no one have any idea, as an employee, right, you must know how to locate relevant information, right? When I say relevant, it means relevant to questions that the customers will be asking you. You know, say if a customer asks you what in the juice, like what makes the juice, what makes up the juice, they can't be there and say that the box is red. You need to get to it, so the customer can get the information to come off the phone, because customers, they really don't like to stay on the phone. They just need to ask the information and then they go, right? So where you need to get this liable information from, right? You need to get these liable information from reliable sources such as the company database, the filing system, emails, reports, and internal communication platform. This is where you access the important and accurate, up-to-date information that you're going to need, right? And when you're using or you're applying workplace information, you need to apply the data appropriately to carry out duties such as preparing reports, responding to emails, making decisions, and completing administrative tasks. So you need to put all the information out there. When you put all the information out there, you need to know where to go to find the information, right? You know, you go on the database, or you go on the reporting, internal files, and so forth. You go to find those information, because those are the information that the customer would need. As I said, you can't know the whole entire thing. The customer can't be asking what is in the ingredients and you're telling the customer the box is red. No, we don't do that, right? So communicating in workplace, it requires presenting information clearly. This is just as how I'm giving you the training clearly now. That's how they want the information to be clearly, so they can understand and they can ask the proper questions, right? So we're not going to go around the bush and tell the customer part of one story and the part here. No, you're going to apply the information correctly, clearly, and professionally, right? So for instance, say I am working in your position now, and a customer called in to ask me what is in Maggie. Say for instance, the company's Maggie seasoning. And what I would say, I would introduce myself, I would answer the phone, ask the customer how they're doing, and then you jump right into it professionally. You just let them know what is the ingredient. You don't start from the top and let them know that you have to process the bottles. No. You just jump into the information. That's how it's supposed to go. Right? So you have to communicate effectively, so we don't have no misunderstanding. Right? So when you have misunderstanding in your company, you're going to have a problem when you produce the information to the customer, because the customer will have the incorrect information. For instance, they want to get a juice without preservative or added on sugar, and you just tell them, all right, I want you to have added on sugar. When they check it out, it's full of sugar. So your company are gonna get the bad feedback, and it not going up. One of your companies here have to give the effective information correctly, right? So that's what you need to do. You need to produce the information professionally, efficiently, and correctly. And overall, all the skills you need to contributing to make a better decision. So all what we just discussed is that what you need overall for these skills to contribute to making a better decision, to improve workflow and efficiently organize communication.
Good morning, Jenna, and welcome to your final day of workshop. I'm Kimani Little, and I will be conducting day 3 of your workshop. Within this lesson, you will learn about the importance of retrieving and storing information using the MIS system. You will learn the importance of preparing company documents to meet requirements and the timelines. You will also learn the importance of making recommendations in relation to contingency planning, as well as the importance of relating to others with diversity. Now, let's jump right into it. Retrieving and storing information using the MIS system is important because it enhances accuracy and reliability by storing employees' salary details in inventory levels, preventing errors such as miscalculation and selling out of stock items. It improves efficiency by allowing HR to quickly access employee records and hospitals to manage doctor schedules. As for examples, that is. It also saves time and avoids scheduling conflicts. The system ensures compliance by securely storing legal and financial documents for easy retrieval during audits and regulatory reviews. The MIS system also supports decision making through sales analysis and strategic planning, enabling managers to identify trends and optimize workflow based on performance data. Now, we will be speaking on the importance of preparing company documents to meet requirements and company deadlines. The importance of preparing company documents lies in maintaining professional standards, ensuring operational workflow, promoting accountability, and facilitating coordination. Well prepared documents reflect the company's image. Any error or delays can adversely affect its credibility. Timely reports and memos are crucial for keeping staff aligned and informed with company objectives and deadlines. Meeting such established timelines enables departments to effectively track progress and measure the performance of their employees. Additionally, these documents often contribute to a broader organizational process, such as WinTech operations, and delays can disrupt the functioning of multiple departments. For example, a company's annual financial report must be free of errors. If mistakes are found, the investors may lose confidence within WinTech or overall WinTech's credibility. We could also say, for instance, a manager circulates a memo outlining weekly targets. Staff align their tasks with those goals, ensuring everyone is working towards the same deadline. And one way we can encourage or promote good coordination is by doing cross document department reports, meaning the finance department prepares the budget reports that HR uses to plan the hiring. If the financial department delays the report, obviously the HR recruitment process will also be delayed. Now, the next topic we will be speaking about is the importance of making recommendations in relation to contingency and resource planning. Recommendations in contingency and resource planning is crucial, or I guess you could say is more essential for effective risk management, as they enable companies to prepare for unforeseen challenges like staff shortages or supply delays. Additionally, proposing alternative solution aids in optimizing resource use, ensuring efficiency. For example, if you, Miss Jenna, notices that several employees are scheduled for vacation during the same week, you can recommend hiring temporary staff or cross-training existing employees to cover critical roles. Contingency planning also enhances Wintech's flexibility, allowing for rapid adaptation to changes while minimizing disruptions within the organization. Moreover, proactive leadership, exemplified by Jenna's your contributions in planning, underscores initiative and reinforce your position within that department. The impact this would have on the company is that your initiative positions the department as being more prepared and forward thinking, strengthening your credibility as a leader. And lastly, the importance of relating to others with diversity. Respecting diversity in the workplace is crucial for creating an inclusive environment where all employees can feel valued and appreciated. Recognizing and understanding different perspectives among team members significantly enhances their collaboration, leading to more improved teamwork and more effective problem solving. Furthermore, cultural competence plays a very vital role in the facilitating of communication, as sensitivity to the diverse backgrounds and experiences of colleagues foster better and smarter interactions. Ultimately, embracing diversity within teams not only generates a wide range of ideas but also drives innovation, which contributes to stronger organizational growth or the growth of Wintex Beverages enterprises. For example, let's say the marketing team includes members from different age group, genders, and cultural backgrounds to gain different innovative ideas. For example, a staff member suggests eco-friendly packaging which is inspired by their local traditions, while a younger staff proposes using digital features based on youth trends. The impact on WinTech that this would have is that the diversity of ideas leads to a unique, innovative product that stands out within the company. In summary, the MIS system function as the backbone of the company by ensuring accuracy in payroll inventory, improving efficiency and record keeping and scheduling, and supporting compliance with audits and regulations. They empower leaders with reliable data for decision making and strategic planning. Beyond technology, professional standards and documentation safeguard the credibility of the company, while timely reports and memos maintain operational workflow, accountability, and coordination across all departments. Effective contingency and resource planning through risk management, optimization, and flexibility, as well as proactive leadership, protects the company from disruptions and strengthens its resilience. Finally, embracing diversity fosters inclusion, collaboration, cultural competence, and innovation, turning fairness into a strategic advantage. Together, MIS professional standards, planning, and diversity drive the success, credibility, and adaptability of Wintech Beverages Enterprise. Thank you, and that's the end of your training. We'll see you tomorrow at work. And if you have any questions, you can always email me at kglittle@gmail.com. Thank you.